Hi there, beautiful souls, and welcome. Welcome back, or welcome to the Hawk. And my name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Wow, the energy that is floating around right now is a lot. So I thought I would come on today and do a little energy update, as well as take some questions for Ask the Medium. So hopefully you're able to join me. Good morning. Hi there, Wes, darling. So the energy, if you're oh, good morning, look at you guys all coming in. Hello. I'm talking this morning about some of the energy that's floating around. We got a lot, there's a lot going on. I'm curious if some of you are feeling a little bit tired, a little bit maybe a little bit burned out, maybe a little bit foggy in your head. I'm just curious on how you're all feeling, because the energy that's moving through right now, there's a lot with the planets, there's a lot with the collective, there's a lot moving around. So sometimes we can feel it physically. So if you're feeling tired, achy, lack of motivation, or needing to sleep a little bit more, it's probably connected to some of the energy that's floating around. So let's dive into it. We are right now experiencing some of the energy from the Sirius Gateway. It's one of the most spiritual activation time from a planetary alignment. So the planet Sirius aligned with our spiritual sun. So it's our spiritual sun giving us an activation, opening up our crown chakra, and kind of tapping into that spiritual self. Nurture us. So the desire to slow down, perhaps you just want to think things through a little bit, or perhaps you're shifting a little bit of your spiritual practices. It peaks on the 4th of July, which is today. So kind of listen to what your body needs, what your spiritual self needs, allowing energy to flow through you, perhaps just some sitting still, or if you can get down to the water, just allowing energy to flow through. You can visualize that, a blue light or a white light coming in through your crown, kind of flowing through, reconnecting you to your spirit guides. A lot of spirit activity, you may experience a little bit of that, today or into the weekend, just feeling your guides are present. It's asking us to kind of sit and be a little bit more present with our spiritual self. So if you get a chance over the next couple of days, just kind of sit and feel that energy. It also can kind of connect to things that we need to let go of. So you may feel I need to step back from that, or I need to say no to that, or I just need to kind of like be alone with myself and my thoughts. A lot of that energy is floating around right now. It's our spiritual sun saying, hey, I'm here for you. We also have some really cool stuff going on with the planet Neptune. So Neptune is shifting into Aries. It's also in a little bit of a retrograde. So if you're a retrograde affected person, you may feel a little bit of that. Neptune connects to our hopes, dreams, wishes, creativity, and our spirituality. Aries is very action, very make it happen. So you can see a very interesting partnership that we're coming into here with Aries coming in, or Neptune coming into Aries. It's also something, a connection that we here in the physical world have never experienced. This is new for us here. It's happened before over history, but it hasn't happened in our lifetime. So I found that extremely interesting. Hopes, dreams, wishes, creativity, spirituality. You may be kind of, leaning into that, leaning into those dreams. You may be feeling a little bit daydreamy. You may be connecting to things that you want to make happen. And then Aries being the action planner. Let's start working on that. Let's make that happen. There may be some motivation coming through that you may just, I'm feeling a new motivation. I think I want to try that. It also comes in with a little bit of, I'm going to talk about death of the ego. So we're going to be feeling a little bit of peeling away of old things, old thought processes, old ways of thinking. That is asking to kind of like be let go of, peeling away. There's something new, some new creativity, some new thoughts, some new truths. And we struggle with that as humans, don't we? We struggle with, that letting go of that ego piece and allowing the next layer. We kind of get a little bit perhaps confrontational or guarded. We struggle with, what, that, I don't think like that anymore. We struggle with letting that go. And the energy is holding us into, what, letting go of old things that, no longer serve you. There was wisdom in that. What did you learn? So kind of looking at it from a different perspective, in I need to let that go. go? What did I learn from the past or from that experience? We don't have to always have great success, or things don't always have to resonate with us all the time. And the ego is just kind of like really kind of bringing up a little bit of guardedness with people. So, you may see this in other people as, and rather than in yourself, you may feel people being a little bit guarded or confrontational, or just kind of not sure what direction to go in. People around you may be questioning, should I or shouldn't I? Should I or shouldn't I? And the best advice to give people is to just kind of say, sit with it, have a think. Right? Feel it's okay to change directions. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to peel away layers. It's okay to change. Right? So just kind of lean into that. If you're struggling with it too, just kind of give yourself an opportunity to say, you know what? That doesn't resonate with me anymore. I think I'm going to go on and learn something different, or think a different way, or it's okay. We become very guarded when we want to change, or when we have to, learn from an experience. So just kind of give yourself some space. Letting go is a great thing. What did I learn? I'm going to let the rest go. It's okay. Right. We're always in that learning space. We're always in that higher, we're here to learn, right? Like, we're here to learn. That's why we came here. So, being able to tap into that a little bit. Don't be surprised if it comes up for you or the people around you. Be gentle with yourself, right? Not everything has to work out perfect all the time. That's what learning is all about, is just to learn. But I do feel, and I'll talk a bit about it next week, I think too, like, I feel this whole death of the ego is going to be around for, a little bit, and teaching us, but it's bringing us into a higher frequency. It's bringing us into a different alignment. It's bringing us into spiritual growth. This whole Neptune Aries, I feel like our spiritual connections activating at an even deeper level. You may be having stronger intuition. You may be seeing little flickers of light, or having a deeper connection to spirit guides. You may be feeling them coming in a little bit closer, and it's all supportive energy. It's all about learning. It's all about taking taking the experiences and just saying, okay, what can I learn here now? Talk more to your spirit guides. Talk more to your ancestors. Talk more to source energy. Whatever resonates with you, as far as how you connect and who you connect with, give yourself some time and space to kind of feel into that. Big spiritual shifts. I felt it. So I did a small group session last night in person, and how I was working with spirit, I was like, whoa, this is like kind of like picking up some momentum here with how I'm channeling, and I just allow it. I just allow that. I don't question it. I don't, try and judge it. I just allow it, because I'm always open and willing to learn, and show me. I say to spirit every single day, sometimes 10 times a day, show me what I need to see. Tell me what I need to, hear. And I just allow that, even when it's hard. Even when it's hard. It's great when it's easy, but when it's hard and we have to look at things that we need to let go, and that I feel is coming up, in a big tidal wave of things that we need to let go of, and that can be difficult. We don't always like to talk about the difficult. The easy and the light and the positive, we're all in, but as soon as it gets a little bit difficult on letting go, death of an ego, we struggle. Know that you're loved and supported. Connect to your spirit guides. Connect to the communities that your spiritual communities that you connect with. All right, let's grab some questions. Thanks for listening to me. We're listening to me share what spirit talked to me about. Summer means I can be here. Good morning. Hey there, Jen. It's good to see you. Kayla, does my grandmother have any messages for me? Work is really hard right now, and life in general is difficult. Kayla, I feel like I got to get you to kind of, listen a little bit. To that higher self, to that deep wisdom. I feel like the wisdom is being sent to you. I feel like I just have to listen, and we don't. It comes back. Spirit's pointing out on my page. It doesn't. We don't always hear what we want to hear. So if there's some changes coming, stand there open armed. Right. If it's time to shift, stand there open armed. I also have to say, Kayla, that your grandmother is saying one bite at a time. Taking one bite at a time. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have the map of life completely mapped out. One bite at a time. I also, Kayla, she keeps circling the Neptune column on my page. I'm looking down at my notes here because she's circling it. Hopes, dreams, wishes, creativity, and your spirituality. So I feel like I've got to say, coming back into that and taking a look and just adjusting as you need to. Kayla, and she keeps saying one bite at a time. So it's almost like she's showing me the hungry, hungry hippo. Like, like it take smaller bites, take a different perspective. Don't look at the whole roadmap. Just look at what's in front of you right now. What's happening today, what dreams today, goals today, rather than try and look at the whole map. Kayla, I hope that makes sense to you. Smaller bites, darling. And I'm happy that you were able to join us here this morning. Janine, does my mom's son Scooter have any messages for her? Um, Let me just have a lean in there for Janine for a second for you. Um, he hears your mom, so he's pulling on my ear, hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm hanging out with you. I feel like either she's struggling to feel him or not sure if he's hearing her. I'm always right here. I'm always right here. Always holding your hand. I'm always listening. And I feel like that connection, either she's questioning it or trying to grow it, because I feel like he's really supportive of, I'm right here. Continue. We're good. I feel that quite like a big push from him with continue to connect. I'm right there. Hope that resonates there. Maruna, I feel like I've got to applaud you with your growth, acknowledging the small steps. Small steps matter, and being gentle on yourself. So I don't know if you're struggling a little bit with that gentle energy, being kind, being gentle, being enough. All of that. Continue working on that. Rachel, hi all. Happy to catch you live today. Hope you have a good week. Hello, darling Rachel. Shy, letting go is a problem, all right. It's a problem for us humans, right? We struggle so much to let go, and spirit is always, even with me, spirit will say, put that down. Like, what did you learn? Come back to, what did I learn? Time to move forward, right? The past is our teacher. What did we learn, right? And the ego gets in there with, it's almost like we're embarrassed to learn. When I think about that, it's like we're embarrassed when we trip and fall. So, and rather than, like, I'm learning right now, we go into this whole heaviness with, with being hard on ourselves and not being able to put it down, and other people are learning too, and it's time to move forward, right? So, practicing the moving forward momentum, just kind of like intentionally take a couple steps forward, like walk down the hall, set an intention. It's time to move forward. What did I learn? I'm moving forward. Those little things, those little practices are huge, and it's also helpful with other people, right? What are they learning too? Other people are learning too, and I think sometimes we need to gently remind ourselves of that. They're learning too while they're learning that, right? And being, observe, not absorb, that, all of those little things that we talk about, in my own lane, right? Like, I'm supportive, they're learning too. All of those little things are constant practice, right? And we do derail, and the way back. And spirit says that to me all the time. Lana, you know the way back. You know the way back. Like, come on back into alignment. Come on back to refocus. Come on back to letting go. Come on back to come on back to your hopes, dreams, wishes. Right? Come on back. Right? Because we do lose our way. Things do get foggy. We do feel uncertain. But we're learning too. Right? It's just a different way of looking at it, and it also helps us with our growth. Right? And I always kind of say, okay, what's next? Right? What's next? But because it does get difficult. It does get difficult. All right, let's grab a couple more questions. Camilla, hi Lana. A while back, I asked you my cat's allergy. From what you said, I changed his litter, and the vet thinks we might be on to something. Thank you, hoping it will work. I'm really happy, Camilla. I'm really happy that there's been a little bit of a shift there, and that you've perhaps an answer. I feel like you're on the right track, and I do feel this is going to settle, but there's something there that feels like you're on the right path with it. There's something with the ground. So the litter, I'm really happy that you took that learning and took that experience. Laura, wondering if spirit has any comments for me about my connection to my great niece. I feel like there's been a connection here in another lifetime. So I'm curious if number one, there's been that powerful I feel more like a child connection there. But I also feel like it's got a combination of some learning, Laura. I feel like there's just like feels like a teacher role. It feels like a supportive role. And sometimes like it can get a little picky, right? I feel like you have journeyed together before, if that makes sense there. Spring, good morning, Spring. It's good to see you. Lana, is there any word on Michaela Ryan's from the other side? Is she with the foxes that have passed? Let me just tap in there for a second, Spring. I feel like there's a lot of healing there. So I feel like when I ask for the foxes, I'm being held in healing. I'm being held. So when we cross, and I'm sure most of you know this, when we cross, our soul has to goes through a few processes. So I'm not sure, Spring, if how long she's been gone, but this feels fairly recent to me. So I feel that she's in that process of that healing, and she's being held in that energy, and then that would include the her connection to the foxes, but it's also includes a lot of other connections, source energy, the most powerful divine love and light. I feel like I'm in that healing process. I feel like I'm in that so I feel like my journey here was quite hard. I also feel like not a lot of people knew her deeply, if that makes sense. And I feel like there's something underneath that she's working on her own healing. I hope that makes sense there, Spring. And I also feel like I need to say thank you for sending me love and light. I feel that from her. Like I feel like you've been either praying for her or sending her healing energy, because I need to thank you for the support and love. Lana loves Fawns. What career path the spirit advised me to take align with what I think I want. Lana loves Fawns. I feel like you have that knowing. I've got to give it back to you. And they're saying turn my page back. So let me turn my page back. I'm going right back to the highlight on the hopes, dreams, wishes, creativity, and your own intuition. I feel like you're hearing it yourself. And I feel like that intuitive muscle, learning to trust it, and here's one thing that I want to say, and I think this goes from more than just you, Lana loves Fawns. Our path can change at any time. What resonates with us now and can be very fulfilling now, it can change in 10 years, and it's okay. And they're pointing at me. And looking at my experience in my nursing background, it changed many times. Even where I worked, even what I'm doing now is very different. And I think that following your path with what you feel you're aligning to is the right way. And it comes back into humans. We're so afraid to make the wrong mistake and wrong choice, even though it's going to bring us learning either way. I feel like you're on the right path with what you desire. I feel like you're trusting your own intuition and the pull. And I feel, like I said to Kayla earlier, one bite at a time, one step of the journey at a time. And I think that the fulfillment when we lean into that. Right now, I'm right here. Right. And right now, this is what I want to do. If it changes for me in a few years or even tomorrow, right? But I know right now I'm feeling very fulfilled in what I do. Right. And you see how that feels. We're so afraid of, number one, we don't like change. We're afraid to make a mistake. And I think that if you're feeling something pulling you in a certain direction, it's for a big reason. It's for when we feel that tug, when we feel that desire, when we feel that many of us have had, like, you put your hand up if you've had several jobs or different careers, and every one of those jobs brought you something, or something that you learned, something, you might learn what you want and learn what you don't want. Right. So I feel that you're feeling that pull for a very significant reason. Trust it. Trust it. I hope that helps. And I think that sometimes messages for one person can resonate with more than one. So if this is resonating with you, lean in there a little bit, right? I think, like, we're so afraid of what if it's the wrong way, but I really feel I need to go. And I always say to people, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I truly don't. I could be abducted by aliens tonight, right? I mean, I just bring a little bit of light and laughter to it. I truly don't know. If spirit says to me, okay, you're gonna go this way now, I'm so good with that. I'm so good with that. And I've just learned that every experience, everything I taste is going to bring me something, even if it doesn't taste great. I learned what I didn't want to do. Right? Okay. Well, okay, Tabitha. Hi, Lana. My dad's home had a showing yesterday and they're interested. I dropped the price already and wonder if there's a decent offer. Will it sell soon? I don't feel worried here, Tabitha. I don't feel worried. I feel like I feel like it's gonna sell, and I feel like you're gonna get awfully close. Is there a negotiation? Absolutely. And there always is when we're selling something. I mean, I could sell this coffee cup and somebody's gonna negotiate the price, right? So I feel like yes, there's a little bit of negotiation, but I don't feel it much. I don't feel it much. Um, Tabitha, I don't think I'm not 100% sure that it's possible. Feels uncertain to me though. Would these people are going to take a leap here? There may be a bit of a pause if they do. They may take a couple days or a pause and come back. But I'm not worried about this house selling. I feel like it's ready to go. I feel like the house is ready to go. You're ready to let it go. Like I feel all of that is like ready to go. I would Tabitha, just to energetically, I would give the house permission one more time. I would just cut any ties, grateful for the experience and the opportunity and the love, all of that. I would just kind of give it one more little push. That's what I would do personally if it was my house. I would actually grab a pair of scissors from the drawer, and I would probably get a piece of paper and just and draw a little house on it and cut the ties. I feel, and I would just bring in the energy of grateful, bring in the energy of its time. I feel like that helps. Sometimes it just helps clear up a little bit of stuff. And it also kind of helps us mentally too, right? It helps with those doubts, and it helps with the concern. I'm not worried here though, Tabitha. This house is gonna sell. Mandy, anything from my spirit guides? Let's have a wee sip of tea. Mandy, I feel a lot of new. I feel like a blank sheet. I feel like new creativity. I'm curious if you've been kind of contemplating what do I want to do next? I feel like this new. I just feel like, new way of working, new way of thinking, new people coming to you. I feel like brand new. I just feel and it feels very exciting. Like I feel like that excitement of curiosity. I feel like I'm test tasting new things. And that can be many as simple as new books, new thoughts, new questions, but I just feel like there's a lot of new, and I just have to kind of whisper in your ear, enjoy it. Enjoy every moment of new. West Spirit might be playing with my electric bike display, going on to the bike shop to check if it's not a physical fault. I think it's a bit of a combination there, Wes. I think that there's something a minor thing with the bike, and I think Spirit's trying to get your attention to have it looked at. So I think that there's a bit of both here going in. Wes, I also feel like I need to ask you, did you ignore it for a little bit? Right, I just feel like because I feel Spirit's like have this looked at, have this looked at. You don't want to break down when you're when you're out and about. So I'll leave that there. Shy, I got a question today. My mother has a condition caused by genetic mutation. She has she has. My question is, do you feel like I might have a genetic mutation too? I'm not sure, Shy, to be honest with you. Um, I'm leaning on no. I'm leaning on no. So yeah, I don't feel that. So if you feel like you need to have it tested, by all means, the Shy, I'm not a doctor. I don't feel that. Do you feel that, Shy? I'm curious. Shy, you've got incredible intuition. I'm just curious if what your intuitive muscle is telling you. That's what she said. Feeling exhausted, can't keep my eyes open. Won't be here Monday. This is exactly kind of what I was talking about earlier. That's what she said. There is an exhaustion floating through. And some people may think, oh well, it's hot, or oh, I've been working. The energy is asking us to kind of let go, to kind of recharge, to allow the frequency of love and light and spiritual growth. There's a lot of spiritual growth energetically right now at the Sirius gateway in this whole Neptune and Aries alignment. I was kind of highly intrigued, and I might even do some digger deeping in it. I don't know everything about astrology, but I was really intrigued with the timing of it, with the 4th of July, and and with the spiritual self and the activation and the peaks and waves and the different frequency that's coming in. It's coming in when I think we really need it the most too. Rachel, my clairvoyance is off the charts lately. There it is. I keep seeing so much physically that it makes me double take. I'll push my ego aside and believe what I'm seeing spirit. Spirit works relentlessly hard, especially when we're open to it, right? So Rachel, you've been growing and open for a bit, and it's like that next level, right? It's that your trust is shifting. When we see things, it can be, especially if you're new to seeing, it can be a real taking back, right? Am I making it up? Is this my imagination? We have all of that going on. But I feel like you've been working on getting more from spirit, more understanding. I feel that. And it's, but moving the ego aside and allowing is huge. Rachel, what I do when I work with spirit is, to help me with the ego piece, is I visualize myself sitting out of it all. So I use the empty chair. There's a chair there, Lana, you're going to go have a seat, so that I can connect with my higher self versus the ego coming in. I do that in all my readings and every time I sit with somebody, even when I come here onto a live, I ask that part of me to sit out. It doesn't need to be involved in my spiritual connection. So, and I feel that it just softens, it just kind of helps with that opening up a little bit more. And I also remind myself that there's no cap, there's no level of, oh, I've learned it all, I know it all. I'm learning too. Every single day I remind myself of that. All the things that I teach my students, I practice all the time, and it's what continues my growth, and it continues the allowing more, and it continues the momentum of it. And for my own personal stuff too, I take everything to spirit, everything, and I sit out of it. If I've got a decision to make, I literally ask this over here to go ahead and have a seat over here. Those of you who are my students, it's the exercise where I say, think about your most favorite peaceful place, and then ask yourself to go have a sit down there, whether it be the beach or the mountains or even just the chair next to you. And every time you feel like that ego is creeping back in, very lovingly, you can go have a seat over there. Right. I stay out of it, and I just kind of, that way I can hear my intuition very, very clearly. That way it's spirit that's guiding me, and I just sit with, how does this feel? Right. Automatic writing is a great way to, just kind of like writing down, what am I feeling right now, and allowing that to flow. And it's something that, like I said, all of these little things, it's something, it becomes easier and less of a chore. Because some of you, I have had students say, this is a lot of freaking work. And I'm like, yeah, it is, but that it softens, it lightens, it just becomes like a reflex. It's a lot of work to lean the other way too, right? We just get so used to it. Shy, funny, Rachel, funny, my ability to channel in general has been on a low for a while. I can't tap in as easily. um Shy. There can be many different reasons for this. I feel that the head leaning into the headspace is um probably part of the reason, right? Getting out. Try going back, Shy, to have that part of you sit out. I also feel sometimes there's a pause there with mastering how we're working. So there will be times I'll be like, okay, nothing has shifted, nothing has changed. And it'll be, come back to basics, come back to what you already know. There's something else there to learn, right? There's something else there to kind of marinate in, or there's something else there that I need to think about or feel into. So I will often say to spirit, Shy, I'll say, okay, what, can you show me what I'm missing here? Like, what am I missing here? Perhaps it's just coming back to the basics. Am I overthinking this? When we feel like they're pushing us back a little bit, they're trying to show us something that we're not quite seeing yet. Okay. Um, Hello, Lana. I'm Sone. I have a question about my love life. I recently got into a relationship with my male best friend, and we have been thinking of date, and I've been thinking about dating him. What do my guides feel about it? Just give me a second with this one here. Okay. Hmm. I feel like I've got to come back into the best friend part of it. And I feel like that's really well preserved. Like I feel like that's really solid. if that makes sense there. I also feel that this isn't the first time this has come up with you and this person. I feel like you've had that thought before, and you may have pushed it back. I also feel this isn't the first time you have been compatible with this person. I do feel a deep past life connection here. I also feel like I need to express, both of you need to express the feelings. I feel like it's both of you have to hear it. I feel like the fear of losing is what's kind of holding this up. Right? So I feel like I just need to kind of like come back into, let's talk about that. I feel like I've got to express. I feel like I've got to hear, like each you have to hear each other out. And I think that's going to clear up this decision. Okay? Spirit will with the choice and free will, and with our with spirits that guide us, they will never fully make a decision for you. They will, and I feel that there's a reason why this connection is so deep. And I just, and what they keep showing me is step out of the fear. If that makes sense to you. Okay. I also feel like there's something with timing. So I'm curious, Sone, if there's something there with timing, like because it feels like the timing is shifting. So was one of you either always not available, or distance? Perhaps it was like a physical distance. There's something there with the timeline. Something has changed time. Is there more time for each other? I really feel like there's a time coming together. Ooh, it's after 9 o'clock. I'm gonna have to watch the time. My latest motto: don't compare yourself to others. Absolutely. Everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's having their own experience. Everybody has their own lessons to learn. So absolutely, Laura. See you in the replay. Take care. That's what she said. Spring. I'm down energy wise today and physically ill yesterday. It's been a tough couple days. Spring, sending you some love and light and healing. I also feel Spring. Energetically, okay, so I feel like there's been a lot of change and a lot of momentum, like both spiritually, both physically, and I feel it's more of come back, just balance it a little bit. It's okay to ride the comfy couch. It's okay to simply breathe. It's okay to just take some time for yourself. I feel like it's more. I'm not worried, Spring. I just feel like it's just sit and breathe. Is how it feels. Allow the healing to kind of like embed itself deep down. And I don't know if you're hard on yourself when you have a slow day, or slower days kind of like discourage you. But I feel like the slow day is like slow the road sometimes. Sometimes we just need to slow the road. And even though you're not feeling great, try and tap into, it's great to just be. Just be still. Debbie Jones. Hi, Deb. Hello, everyone. I'm enjoying a vacation in the East Coast, celebrating my aunt's 85th birthday today. Any messages for her from Spirit? Debbie, the East Coast. How lucky. I'm gonna tap into that frequency. I love the East and the West Coast. Beautiful, beautiful energy there. I feel happy birthday to your aunt. I feel like I need to say to her, she's made some huge differences in other people's lives in a very positive, loving way. She's put people back together better than how she found them, even strangers in a grocery store. I just feel like just her energy is, she puts people back better than how she found them. I also feel like there's been quite a teaching role with her. So I'm curious what kind of, okay, I just feel like she's been like a teacher to many people. The wisdom there and the support there, and I feel like I need to say to her, again, everything that you've done with what you knew at the time and done very well. But I just feel all of this gratitude for the people's lives that she touched. She's touched a lot of lives in a beautiful, energetic, glorious kind of way. And I feel like she still has a lot to give. So Debbie, I'm sure you're listening to anything wise she has to say. Um, I would say I would ask her to share more. If I was to sit down with your aunt, I would want to know more about her experience, share more. There is such a deep wisdom there, and there's just so much that she still has to teach, and I love that. Um Jennifer. Oh, sorry, I lost. There was a lot of back and forth to Shy. Okay, I love the support that you guys give. Laura, my great niece is 6 months old, and I felt a knowing between us at first sight, and holding her at the same time. I absolutely feel we had a past life together. Thank you for confirming. You're very welcome. There's a there's such a deep connection here. It's incredible. I also feel like there's going to be a lot of learning. Even though she's so little, she feels a lot older than that. I'd be honest with you, wise old soul probably. But I also think she's going to bring you a lot of learning. There's going to be a lot of learning there. There's so many online stories of her, but I figured there was more to her. This is from Spring. She surprised everyone when she took her life. I, you know, that explains why I feel so much healing energy. I also feel, an online presence. We truly don't know, what's happening in behind the scenes, right? Even in person, we don't always have a full glance at people's struggles. Many people, many people hold their struggles very close to their chest. Many. Fran, another good day for my daughter at her co-op, hoping the wins continue. Absolutely. Fran, um, I feel she's got, momentum back. I feel like she's going to land right where she needs to. And, yes, it's been bumpy. Yes, it's been bumpy. Yes, it's been bumpy. I had to say that 3 times. I don't know why, but I feel like she's navigating this. She's got her sails set, and I'm I just know, Fran. I just know she's gonna find her way. YouTube, enough with the advertisements. I have it set on the lowest. So my apologies there, Spring. My mom has been having such a hard time. I had a dream recently about my sister, and I shared with her, which was timed with something she said the night before that was comforting. I love that, Janine, tapping in. Jasmine, what does spirit say to me right now about my feeling so emotional? Jasmine, I feel like I have to continue expressing it. I feel like emotions need to be expressed. Emotions need to flow. Emotions, r- I feel like I need to hold space for that, Jasmine. I feel that the emotions are teaching you something as well, teaching you to trust, teaching you to let go. I also have to say, Jasmine, that everything is going to work out. I also feel I feel a little bit secretive here. I feel a little bit secretive. I feel like when you know what it feels like, Jasmine. I'm going to try and explain it. Feels like a surprise party. When I just feel like there's something surprise, or I just feel that energy there, and and I've got like a secret, and it so and perhaps it's your energy that I'm picking up. Are you a little bit secretive, or shy? But I just feel like something really positive is about to be delivered. Yeah. All right, you guys, I gotta get going. Shy, oh yeah, I'm on a crossroads right now. I don't know what direction to go into yet, career, education. Otherwise, I'm gonna start a journey in which I'm gonna figure out what I want to do soon. Shy, I don't even know what I want to do when I grow up either. But one day at a time, figuring it out. We don't have to have all the answers and all the direction all the time. We don't. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Right? I still got a lot of years ahead of me. I can change. Right? I'm navigating it one step at a time. Today I want to do this. Right? Um, for me, it's help with the allowing, Shy. It's really help with the allowing. Okay, guys, I love you so much, but time is ticking on. Mandy, been thinking about change as my hip is healing. Lots of time to think. Thank you. You're very welcome. Jen responds to Sone. Go ahead and explore it. Put it out there, but it won't last, and the other side will be okay. Jasmine, just hold space and let go. Everything will work out. It feels like a surprise birthday. I love how you guys support one another. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Let's get an angel number for the weekend. What do we need to hear? 245 and 246. So let's start with 245. The angels have helped you orchestrate positive changes, which are bringing great blessings into your life. 246, your prayers for help with all of your needs, such as money, home, transportation, and so forth, have been heard and answered by the angels. Oh, I love that. Thank you for hearing me. All right. Focus, guys. What do we need? Let's get a spirit animal for the weekend. Oh, Janine, you're very welcome. I do love this community. All right. Crow. Ooh, I love the crow. I have a crow that visits me every morning. You're on the verge of manifesting something you've been working toward for a while. Yes, I love that. Be very watchful over the next couple of days for any clear omens or signs that will guide you and teach you. This is really leaning into both the angel number and the energy that we channeled, isn't it? Expect a big change very soon. You've noticed something that's out of balance or an injustice that hasn't been addressed, and it's important to speak up about it. Speak your truth, folks. You're about to get a glimpse into some future event that affects you directly. Wow. I love that. Expect big change very soon. I was just having another read. I love that. Manifesting is a powerful thing. You can manifest what you want. You can also manifest what you don't want. So work on putting down fears. Work on putting down fears. Keep your intentions set, right? Happy 4th of July to our American friends. I do have a post that I have scheduled on my social media. We're holding you in love and light. This too shall pass. And I just feel that I need to remind some of you, the light will shine always brighter than the dark. And we're holding your hand, we're supporting you, and we're cheering for you. So as you navigate through the day and through one day at a time and through the changes, just know that you're not alone. It may feel that way. You may be picking up some shame or some embarrassment. Just know that we love you. Okay. Kayla, I love you all. Thank you, Lana. I'm so grateful I was able to make it today. I miss this community. Much love, you guys. Enjoy the weekend. Breathe. Just find some time to slow down and breathe, right? Practice that sitting out exercise. What do I need to know? What do I need to hear? What do I need to feel? Like we're always in spiritual growth. We're always learning something. As always, I'm wishing you all love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided day. Take care, you guys.